Hey everybody, this is Nick Mundt from Michael Waddell's Bone Collector, and you're listening to Mike Tamano's Wild and Free.
Nick Mundt joins us now on Mike Tamano's Wild and Free. Nick, of course, one of the bone collectors on the Outdoor Channel, along with Michael Waddell and T-Bone Turner, who's been on this program a couple of times. And welcome to the show, Nick.
Thank you, man. It's nice to be here.
Well, it's good to have you on. And above and beyond the hunting aspect, you know, people watch the Bone Collector Show, and it's ultimately a program about the camaraderie that occurs in a hunting camp among friends. Is that something that you guys are aware of, or does it just come across that way?
No, you know, that's kind of one of the things we wanted to promote when we got this show going, was just a lot more than just a kill. You know, the hunting atmosphere and the culture of the hunter is something that we really feel is important to get across to people. And that's just what we wanted to do. You know, we wanted to show the meat and potatoes, you know, warts and all, about the way the hunts unfold, what happens in camp and with the travel. And, you know, when you got guys that click like Michael and T-Bone and I do, I mean, we just have a lot of fun. And it's actually pretty easy. That's the easy part, you know, getting those kills is the tough part, but just the camaraderie in camp and having fun, you know, as buddies and all that, comes pretty easy for us. And that's what hunting is all about. You know, it's not about the kill. That's always the icing on the cake.
Right.
But, you know, when you've got a bunch of cool people in camp and you share that camaraderie and that spirit of the hunter, I mean, it just makes it all the better. And that's really something we wanted to, you know, put across to the viewers.
When you started, you were guiding people in South Dakota, right?
Yeah, in Wyoming, actually, yeah. And I worked at 7J Outfitters for a long time, and then got to meet the guys from Realtree, and always had my video camera with me, and, you know, always videoed my clients and the kids of the owners of 7J, Jeff and Deb Smith. And I just had a chance that first year when Realtree came to show them some of my footage, and they liked it, and David Blanton offered me a position.
All right.
Running camera and being a field producer over there, so that's how I got my start, for sure.
How did you get introduced to the great outdoors lifestyle?
Well, my grandpa, my mom's dad, was a hunter, and my dad is a hunter. And, you know, we'd always go back to my grandparents, you know, in the summer times and like Thanksgiving and Christmas, and we always hunted. You know, we'd always go duck hunting and pheasant hunting, and, you know, over Thanksgiving we always put together big deer hunts. And, you know, I've just been hooked on it since I was a kid. I got my first BB gun when I was about 8 and shot all kinds of birds and squirrels and rabbits, and just started out, you know, like most avid hunters do, shooting small game, and just come from a hunting family. You know, everybody in my family supports hunting, and it's just something I've done my whole life. I really enjoy it, and I really can't even picture myself, you know, not doing it ever. I'm gonna have to be in a wheelchair, or even worse than that if I ever quit. You know, hopefully I'll be able to do it until the day I die.
Yeah, it hasn't stopped Tread Barta.
No, that's for sure, and that's a pretty amazing story in itself, right there. Talk about perseverance. Yeah,
we had Tread on a couple of times, and that guy is unstoppable. What an amazing inspiration. But, you know, you talk about the BB gun and that first bow and arrow the kids get. It really opens a door. In wandering through the woods with family members and friends, it really opens a door. And like you're saying, it gets a hold of your soul, and you can't get rid of it. It becomes part of who you are.
Yeah, that's true. And the coolest thing about what I get to do is, you know, I get to travel so many places and meet so many good people, and really see how they hunt and what the culture of their hunting ways are, how they eat their breakfast, and, you know, how they get ready and prepared for the hunt, and what they do after the hunt. And a lot of the places I go are really family-oriented people, and a lot of these families that I see that hunt together, you know, they're really tight-knit families. Their kids aren't in trouble, and you know, the kids aren't out running the streets. They know where their kids are at all times, because these kids want to be a part of something like that. And when you get to spend time with your family up at the lake cabin or up in the woods, you know, hunting, it just makes that family bond so much closer. And a lot of these families that I know that are serious hunters, I mean, they're just the tightest knit families, and they all have that in common, and they all love it, you know.
Oh, absolutely. Nick Mundt from the Outdoor Channel's Bone Collector Show. Nick, of course, a very passionate and gung-ho outdoorsman. It's so great to watch how excited you guys get, because whether you're hunting pigs or you're hunting raccoons or you're hunting giant deer, it's all the same. And that's another aspect that I think we need to emphasize. Trophies are great, and guys who can sit in the woods and wait for that buck of a lifetime, that's an amazing achievement of itself. But every animal is a trophy, especially when you're bow hunting.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's tough just to get an arrow into one. And, you know, like I said, that's the icing on the cake, is getting that kill. But there's nothing better, you know, than putting in your time and effort, and then, you know, finally scoring. And, you know, it's not all about the biggest one all the time. Of course, we all want to shoot as big a one as we can get, but just being successful is fun, and just time spent out there. I mean, there's just nothing better to me. I mean, there's nothing I'd rather be doing, you know, and feels good to get an arrow in one, but
Oh
you
yeah.
know, size is size, I guess, goes with location. You know,
Mm-hmm.
a big deer in Michigan might be different than a big deer in Illinois, or you know what I'm saying. And so it's all kind of in the eye of the beholder. And sometimes we put a little bit too much emphasis on score. And like myself, you know, I'm here 5 days, there 6 days, here 5 days. You know, I get a pretty decent buck that comes by me. He better watch out because he's going to get a hole in him.
There you go. Well, now you do get to hunt all over the world. What are some of your favorite destinations and some of your favorite animals to hunt?
You know, I've been really lucky. I've hunted Russia and Asia and Pakistan, and hunted Africa several times, Mexico, Canada, of course, the U.S. And you know, I love hunting North American animals. You know, the African stuff's really cool. Completely different experience. All their animals have weird stripes and specks and spots and masks, and really, you know, a lot of cool looking species. But I think what definitely gets my blood pumping the most is our North American big game, you know, the elk and the whitetails and the mule deer. And of course, they're all really fun to hunt, but I just really enjoy hunting, you know, North American big game.
Yeah, there's nothing like our forests and our woodlands and our water. You know, one of the things that I do is I'm a political activist, and I fight for Second Amendment and hunting rights. And the anti-gun crowd and the animal rights crowd, they're very active, and they're very on the same page, and they support each other. So what do we need to do, Nick Mundt, to get the hunting and shooting collective to contact their legislators or write letters to the editor or speak out against ridiculous hunting laws?
Well, you know, that's it. It just all starts at home. It starts, you know, with people making their voices known, and more importantly, knowing the issues that are going on. And I was at the Safari Club International show out in Las Vegas, and I had a chance to hang out with some of these lobbyists that are fighting for us, guys from the NRA and guys from Safari Club. And you know, it takes funding to get these guys, and they're in Washington. They're rubbing elbows with our congressmen and our senators. They're out there fighting for our rights. They're out there fighting for gun ownership, and they're fighting for hunting. And without these people, I mean, we're in big trouble. There's a lot of people trying to take our rights away. And what a lot of people don't understand is that groups that are trying to take this from us, they're all a bunch of talk, and they don't put their money where their mouth is like hunters do. We buy habitat. We pay for anti-poaching all over the world. You know, every gun that's bought, every piece of ammunition that's bought, a lot of stuff in the hunting industry, money goes back into conservation and hunting. Hunters are the largest group of conservationists in the world, bar none, and we're the only reason why there's so many animals today, game animals, is because the hunters put their time and effort and money into conservation. And we just really need to fight strong and keep this spirit alive, because it's our heritage. It's what this country was founded on, and it's what we all love. And man, if it ever goes away, I don't know what we're going to do. So we need to fight. We need to, you know, keep up on our politics and know what issues are out there, and you know, stand up and make your voice known. You know, I mean, that's all you can do, and we've got a lot of good people out there fighting for us. But it does take funding, and it takes people to join conservation organizations like Whitetails Unlimited, the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation, the Turkey Federation, the NRA, Safari Club International, your local bow chapters. Join these organizations, because your money goes a long ways out in Washington, helping to fight for what we stand for.
Earlier in the interview, Nick, you were talking about how, you know, sometimes you're out there 5 or 6 days, and time is money, especially when you're filming and videotaping. What's the hardest part about videotaping a hunting television show?
Well, obviously getting the kills. You know, when you're out there, you got double everything. You got double the scent. You got 2 men in the tree with all the camera gear and all your stuff. And so, you know, fooling those deer into looking up in the tree and, you know, convincing them that you're not a human is pretty tough. But, you know, I think that's the toughest part about it all is being, number one, being, you know, away from home as much as we are. We are on the road a lot, which is kind of tough. But just, you know, getting good quality video on good animals. I mean, that's the toughest part. You know, all that other stuff's pretty easy. All the fun we have in camp and all that kind of stuff, it comes real easy and natural. But, you know, to get those kills, I mean, sometimes it takes a lot of time. And on TV, you know, you only see the 20 minutes. It looks like it happens so easy, but that's not always the case.
Right. Hours and hours. I hear you.
Yes, for sure.
Now, Nick, when you're hunting places like Pakistan and Russia and even Africa, what are some of the differences that you notice from maybe the cultures or the way that they approach hunting in contrast to how we approach hunting here in the States?
Well, you know, it's all a lot alike. I think the biggest thing is just, you know, the different cultures you go to and in the areas that you're hunting, the terrain is so much different. You know, the stuff I hunted in Pakistan, I hunted all over the country there, from all the way up in the Himalayas, the Karakoram Mountains, way up at 15,000 feet, snow-capped peaks, freezing cold, and then I hunted all the way in the south of the country, where it's 95 to 100 degrees. We're hiking 8-10 miles a day in some really rugged stuff, and just the complete versatility of the terrain is crazy. And like in Russia, it's all covered with snow, knee-deep to waist-deep snow, and you ride snowmobiles, and you're sleeping out in tents, and just some of that stuff, and then you're so far away from home, it kind of weighs on your mind a little bit, like if you were to get sick, or, sometimes you get a little bit homesick missing your family and stuff being that far away. But, it's just for me, it's just really cool to see those new places and just to see the people and meet families and see how they do everything in different places is really cool to me.
Nick Mundt with us. Nick, your sincerity and passion is evident, man. Thanks so much for all you do to promote the great outdoors, and we'll see you on the Bone Collector Show.
Well, I appreciate you having me, and like I said, just keep fighting the good fight. We got to keep this spirit alive and keep hunting alive in our gun rights, and we just thank everybody for following us. And you can check out our website at bonecollector.com. I've got a new website coming out, nickmundt.com. T-Bone's got one, tboneoutdoors.com. And we've just got a lot of really neat stuff coming, and we're really, really feel blessed to get to do this kind of stuff. So we sure appreciate it, Mike.